Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another reaction episode to Buffy. This is Real Life, my name is Matt, hello. Last episode we had maybe the best episode of the show we've had in a while, which is Conversations with Dead People. I don't know, I just really liked it. I just really liked it. It felt like we were getting ready for some bullshit. We maybe just shown who the main antagonist was, who may or may not be Satan. That it does kind of feel like the final boss of anything in this universe, right? Because like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so what's a vampire? Well, a vampire is just like a demon. So then it's like, okay, who's at the top of the edge ladder? And it's like, well, that's Satan, okay, and that may be who we're fighting with. It might not be. Who knows? We'll see. It was just a creepy ass episode on certain. We had multiple storylines happening. Buffy was having a therapy session, and we learned a lot about Buffy Summers as a character. Dawn was living a horror movie featuring Joyce, so that was something. Willow was talking to the ghosts of Cassie, and I think it's really clever to have it be Cassie, because I feel like we all liked Cassie, and we all felt bad for Cassie, but Cassie is also a character that, like, because she was like an oracle, like there was something spiritual or like something supernatural about her that I guess she shows up as a ghost and you kind of believe it, you know, because it has been set up that she's just weird. So it's like, okay, sure, she's a ghost now. She can cross the realms or something. But then it's revealed that that wasn't Cassie, that was something else. And it was very freaky. And he tried to get Willow to kill herself. So that was something. But if there's anything we know from that, is that Satan doesn't want Willow to cast spells. So spells are good, I think. Spike is back to eating people, so, you know, that's something. And then we got to see Jonathan and Andrew back, and Jonathan immediately died. He got betrayed by Andrew because Andrew is an asshole. And Jonathan died. They killed my boy. He died at the gate of hell, maybe. I don't know. But it was very cute because Jonathan actually seemed like he finally got to like the end of his character arc, and then I was like, okay, and now he dies. So yeah, I guess that's the recap of the previous episode. I do want to mention though, somebody told me, I'm not going to make a reference, but somebody told me I should be keeping in track between both shows, like very diligently, which is something that I didn't do previous season because I felt how the shows were pulling apart. So I was like, I'm not going to be so strict about which order I do these in. But somebody told me to do that for this one, for this season. So I've been doing that, and as a result of that is that I just watched the Angel episode Apocalypse Nowish, and that was also a pretty spicy episode. It was what it sounds like. I think Angel also fought Satan and he lost. and now currently in LA there is a giant pillar of fire, and followed by a rain of fire that is encompassing the entire LA city. And also Angel is getting cucked by his own son, which is weird on multiple levels. I don't know what's happening with Cordelia Chase, but we'll get to that later. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's happening in Angel. I don't know how much of it is gonna matter in Buffy, but hey, if it matters, you'll probably see it here on the channel. If it's an episode that kind of doesn't matter, it's just gonna be staying on Patreon for now, but otherwise it's gonna be up here in public. If the streams do cross, which is something I was talking about with Angel, because like it feels like both of them are dealing with like Satan bringing along the end of the world, you know, like the apocalypse is happening, and if that is what we're doing, it feels like maybe the streams are gonna cross, and if the streams cross, then shit, I guess I'll just have to show Angel here in the YouTube channel. So I guess we're ready for that. If there's like an important episode, I'll probably feel it and I'll be like, okay, this one is showing up here. But okay, that's the Angel report. I think we're getting ready to start the next Buffy episode. Patreon, check out the Patreon, look in the description below, social media pop up on the screen. You can support the channel as well as watch the next 2 episodes early on, as well as full-length reactions and Angel watch-alongs. In case you're wondering what's popping in Angel, you can watch it. So yeah, let's begin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 7, Episode 8. Let's go.
Okay, I'm coming. 4:30 in the morning. Sweet mama.
So is this the same night? I guess so, because they would have seen the house being a wreck if she had gone home, which she didn't. She just came right here.
Spike? I don't know. Creature of the night, Buff. He's probably out creaturing. Is he in trouble?
Yeah.
Hope not.
Okay. Okay. Is he okay, yeah, it's Spike. Oh god. Is that the woman he just ate? Yeah, I think it is. For some reason I thought it was fucking Katrina. I was like, well, that's random. He's humming along while he does this. That implies a level of familiarity with this. He's not freaking out about it. I like that this is a direct continuation of the previous episode. It's the same night. That previous episode did kind of leave me with a lot of what the fuck things going on in my brain, so. And now it's no, never mind, we're in England. Giles? Mr. Giles, sir? Oh boy.
Nora!
If we're in England, I feel like we're gonna connect to Giles somehow.
Buffy? She's not here.
Dawn? Oh my god. Dawn, what happened here?
A lot
I
happened.
saw Mom. She was here, Willow. I saw her. She was right here. And then she wasn't.
There was some weirdo ass
Wasn't
black
her.
creature too.
I saw something too, and it looked like someone else.
Doesn't want to even tell her who it was.
It's the big bad. The one we knew was coming.
That's what she said. Mom, she said that things were coming, that things were on their way, and that she loved us.
Doesn't tell her what she actually said.
I just don't think we can trust anything right now.
Why would a vampire lie about who sired him?
A special guest star, Anthony Stewart. Hell yeah. I'm not looking at it.
I'm not saying I don't believe him.
You just don't want to.
Spike can't be the one doing this. He couldn't if he wanted to.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, pain chip, remember?
Maybe the chip's not working anymore.
Oh, it's working. I've seen it.
Is it? Or is that what Spike wants you to think?
No. There's something. I can feel it.
What up?
Well, this can't be good. None of my business. No worries.
Spike,
This is
how was your night?
actually so interesting now.
And yours? Bag any baddies?
One. Vampire. Someone I used to know, actually. A little. Holden Webster.
You knew him, huh? That must have been a picnic.
Just trying to study each other. Well, she is. I don't know what he's thinking.
I'm gonna turn in before I drop.
Did he know him? He probably knew his name. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you had a conversation with that guy first or not. But this is now so interesting.
You see how he reacted when you mentioned webs?
The sun's coming up. I need to get home and check on Dawn. We need to keep an eye on Spike.
He has super hearing, by the way. He's a vampire.
Me. And me's gotta go to work.
Xander, this is serious. We need to find someone that can watch him.
Come on, Anya. You said you'd do it on the phone.
That was before you told me Spike's killing again, and now you want to leave me here alone with him?
Didn't mind being alone with him before.
What was that?
Nothing.
You two need to move on from that shit, dude.
I actually know that he's killed anyone. Might all just be a mistake. Okay, so you'll be safe in here. Plenty of sunlight for you to hide in. We don't want him to know we suspect anything. Besides, if he tries to leave, I don't want you confronting him. Call Buffy and just let her know that he's on the move.
But like, what are you gonna tell him if he wakes up and it's like, what are you doing here?
Better be, because if I get vamped, I'm gonna bite your ass.
Wouldn't be the first time.
What was that?
Dawn?
Buffy, it's okay.
What the hell happened? Downstairs looks like...
Hell happened? Yeah. This big evil that's been promising to devour us? Well, I think it started chomping. Buffy, this thing knows us. It made us think that we were talking to people we knew. Mine said it came with a message from Tara, but Dawn actually saw your mother. This thing, it had me for a while. The lies were very convincing. It just seems real. Lies? Maybe to confuse us, to mess us up?
How do you know you're not talking to one of them right now? Like, that's the thing.
Vampire I killed last night told me Spike sired him.
Well, that's impossible, right?
So now you're thinking that the vampire was part of the plan.
A fake out. You got one too. It
I mean-
wasn't a real vamp.
We, the audience, we know what we saw.
Do you think Spike is...
I can't. I hope not. But if I'm wrong, and he is, then I have to see it for myself. I have to be there to stop it.
Spike is a fascinating thing because he has done so much more horrible than any other vampire, and yet we still give him the benefit of the doubt. We treat him like a person because he is. But like that's fascinating though. The place was darker than usual. Is it like late now? Anya, what are you doing? He's gonna wake up and it's gonna be weird. The direction for James Masters was just like, okay, you're just gonna lay in here naked and you have to make it look as sexy as possible.
Anya, do be specific and tell a fella just exactly what you're doing here.
Well, I'm here obviously for, sex.
Beg pardon?
I mean, it's the most believable thing you could say in this moment, but this is
Let's
weird.
go.
Wait, Anya, just a minute. This is not exact. Is that a steak?
Steak play, yes.
Yes, Kiki.
People do it all the time.
No questions. I can't stop thinking about you and us and our brief but unforgettable time together.
The thing about Anya is that her saying all of this sounds extremely robotic and unnatural, but that's normal for her. So, oh my god, why would you say that?
Oh, just shut up, William, and take me now.
He's not into it. Like, he just woke up and this is weird. And you just said a bunch of weird shit, lady.
Anya, it's not that I'm not tempted. If things were different, you're right, Catch.
I got it. You think I'm fat?
What?
Well, it's either that or the haircut.
Ridiculous. The dude's quite fetching.
Oh, right.
I like it.
Now, you like the haircut. You know, you were a lot more fun when you didn't have a soul.
I need my pants.
So the whole day has passed.
Didn't mean to hurt your feelings, love.
Who's hurt? I'm fine.
I do think she's a little hurt over this. Immediately picks up the phone. He's out!
He's leaving.
What I think a theory I had, but I don't know if I vocalized it. What if the entity, you know, the bad, the evil, is using Spike as a vessel? I mean, I would believe it. He's a demon. I would imagine that the big bad, the big S-man, he can probably use demons as extensions of himself. That's what I would imagine. And Spike is a demon, so... But that also doesn't bode well for Angel. But let's not talk about that show right now. Buffy's gonna intervene like a crazy ex. That lady's gonna be like, what? He's my boyfriend. We've been going out for a while. Or she's gonna lose sight of him. Who knows?
So, what kind of name is Spike?
Great question.
I'll guess you're a little bit bad. You know, I was getting pretty bored waiting over there in that line. I hate waiting. You know you want it. You know I want you to. Is everything...
Okay. This is what's happening.
There's my guy.
The Buffy inside his head is telling him to do that. But that's not actually Buffy.
Now, doesn't that feel better?
How could you use a poor maiden so?
Okay. So, our shapeshifter is causing problems.
What?
The girl last night. Where is she?
Who knows? I talked to her is all.
Where are you getting this? You know I can't.
Right. The chip.
No, not the chip. Not the chip, damn it.
I just don't
You
want to
honestly
do
think
that.
I go to the end of the underworld and back to get my soul, and then, Buffy, I can barely live with what I did. It haunts me. If you think that I would add to the body count now, you are crazy.
So what, you just troll the promenade looking for drunk co-eds because you're hungry for conversation?
Oh, is that what this is? You're jealous, but you can't admit it, so you trump up some charge about me being back on the juice. Yeah, I talk to people, women, talk to them because I can't talk to you.
Oh, Spike, save it.
As daft a notion as soulful Spike the Killer is, it is nothing compared to the idea that another girl could mean anything to me. This chip, they did to me, but the soul I got on my own for you. So yeah, I go and pass the time with someone, but that's all it is time. It's God help me, Buffy, it's still all about you.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like,
Spike,
vampire told me you sired him.
That doesn't mean...
He said you killed him. Dumped him in
Okay.
a parking lot somewhere.
We're confronting him fully.
Vampires...
I did follow you last night. You looked like you were on the prowl.
You can't know that.
So then tell me, you talked to her, then what?
We talked. That's all I remember.
Well, if you seem to forget that much, then...
Not that. Taste of human blood. That I'd remember.
How can you be sure of...
No! You've got an accusation from a pile of dust, not a shred of proof.
So I'll get some.
Here's what's fascinating. I have no idea how much of what Spike is saying is honesty or a lie. And I don't know if he knows either.
You only think Spike is turning people because that vampire told you so, right? But we were all told things that weren't true.
Maybe. Just because those weren't the spirits of, our people, doesn't mean what they said can't be true. We can't assume anything. We need hard facts.
Well, if Spike is biting people again, then shouldn't there be more dead people with neck trauma? We can find that.
No.
No, we can't find that, but that's easy. The computer's a moron.
I mean, no, there's not really an increase in neck injuries. But missing people, 10 of them.
Yeah, being
No bodies,
dumped.
they're just missing.
Those are the graves that
That's
he's
true.
digging.
What that vampire told Buffy turned out to be true.
Maybe, but it still doesn't prove that it's Spike. Right now, he's the only one who knows for sure.
I don't think he does though. Like, that's the thing. I think there is something in his head and he goes and tries to have a life, and then it's like like a flash, and shit happens, and then he doesn't actually realize that. He's realizing right now.
No. You're not going out.
I know what the Slayer told you. It's not true. Let me go and I'll find a way to prove it.
Okay, I'm gonna list the reasons that won't happen. One. Ow!
I mean, it's a good thing that he didn't kill Sander, right? Like, finding Sander knocked out, it's like, well, he punched me to get out. But also, he only punched me. He could have done worse. So, the chip affects him, unless something else is piloting his body, I suppose.
Nice looking girl. I was here talking with her the other night. I'm looking for someone who might have seen her.
No, sorry.
Oh my god, is that what's happening? He's investigating his own murders, and when he's doing that, the entity takes over, and then he just kills another person. And he doesn't remember it, and he remembers flashes, and then he goes to investigate, and when he investigates...
Knock me out.
Maybe, I don't know.
One of them take your wallet? You look like you're out for blood.
I'm just looking for a certain bird I met here the other night.
Is it me?
Sorry, love. Don't think so.
Not even if I ask nice?
Friendly warning, Pat. I'm the type best left alone.
Huh, I get it. You'd rather I slip into something more comfortable.
Change the... Okay. I thought he was the entity. He's just a vampire.
What's with the wallflower act? You didn't seem so shy when you were biting me.
Oh, you sire her. Okay, we have hard evidence now.
No, you're lying.
So that all it was to you? A one-bite stand?
I mean, man, it's just like, what's going on up there? That was nothing. It's just dust. Let's keep going. Yeah, it looked like something, but it was nothing. Don't worry about it. It looked like a corpse fell from the sky, but then it turns out there was nothing there, so.
Hey, sweetheart, if you want to go in, go ahead.
Actually, I need some help. I'm looking for this guy. Bleach blonde hair, leather jacket, British accent, kind of sallow, but in a hot way.
Yeah, I know the guy. Billy Idol wannabe.
Actually, Billy Idol stole his look from... Never mind. Has he been here?
Oh my god.
This guy your boyfriend or something?
No. I need to
I don't
find
want to
him
talk about
as
it.
soon as possible.
Yeah, comes in here a lot lately. Every night leaves with a different girl. Chicks like Billy Idol.
How many girls?
10.
Look, this guy is not your boyfriend guy. If I were you, I'd lose him. He's a real player.
So both of you have confirmation now.
Man, I hate playing Vampire Towns.
Hello? It's me.
Adele?
I think I'm remembering. I think I've done some very bad things.
Who are you talking to?
Where are you?
You're talking to different...
I need to see you.
This is not the same conversation. These are two different conversations. I don't believe you.
I'll meet you.
The way this is cut. You two were talking to two different
Shouldn't
people.
have done that. It's not time yet.
Oh boy. Not time yet. So
Don't go
there's a
against the
plan.
plan.
Yeah, there's some kind of plan. I don't believe he was talking to Buffy. The way that was cut didn't seem that way. Buffy was talking to someone else, and Spike called someone else, but I don't know who.
You won't come down? I understand. It's a risky proposition. There's an order. Slayer's not in order, but it can't hurt to play. Get your claws in the mouse, you know? You are not here.
She doesn't see it. I don't even know who is real in this scene. That's where I'm at.
All right, what do you want to show me?
I've been remembering. The girl I walked her home, the one you saw, and the one before that. And I think I killed her. I think I killed the lady who lived here, and there might be others.
The other Spike just in the scene
I think I
looking.
buried them here.
But like, I don't know where this scene is going, and that's what I'm worried about.
I don't know, do I? I don't even know how. I shouldn't be able.
Early one morning, just as the sun was rising.
That's the song.
Oh,
What?
no to see.
What is it?
Is he taking control?
How could you use a poor maid?
Spike! Spike, listen to me. You don't want to do this.
And it's just about to get fun.
Oh boy. It's a trap, yeah. Everyone's rising. I mean, what I'm thinking is that when Satan pulls the strings, any demon just does whatever it wants it to do. Yeah!
They're waiting for you.
Spike! No!
They sting her. His humanity's glowing back, maybe. Alright, Buffy. You can take out like 4 vampires that have been alive for 20 seconds. You can do it. Nice.
You failed them. Now she's gonna kill you.
There's another one.
Sorry, man. But it's my job.
I don't even know who it was, which is another one.
Do it fast, okay?
You said you would do it.
Who said?
Me? I was here the whole time, talking and singing. There was a song.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Please, I don't remember. Don't make me remember. You make it so I forget again. I did what you wanted.
There's something here.
Yeah.
No, please, I need that. I can't cry the soul out of me. It won't come. I've killed. I can feel them. I can feel every one of them.
I feel like we already had this scene in episode 2.
There's something playing with us. All of us.
What is it? Why is it doing this to me?
I don't know.
Can you help me?
I'll help you.
It's right there watching.
And you believe him?
You didn't see him down there. It wasn't in his control.
Oh, an out of control serial killer. You're right, that is a great house guest.
I mean, Sandra has a point.
Is he staying here?
I don't know.
That's even crazier.
I'm not letting him out of my sight, that's for sure. I'm not keeping him around just to help him. I think there was something there. Talking to him, making him do things. Something like what was talking to us? Maybe. And if it was, then it's been screwing with Spike big time.
He was stuck in the basement for a while.
There's something evil working us. And if we are ever going to have a chance to fight it, we need to learn everything we can about it.
This is
thing
true.
Closer to Spike than any of us.
I mean, look at him.
If you want to understand it, I'm going to have to get close to Spike. Whatever this thing is from beneath us, it's bad. It's only getting worse.
Giles, I was wondering what that scene was. Are these the Watchers?
Robson, are you here? Robson?
Robson's dead too. Oh, Robson is not dead yet. He's gonna be dead in 20 seconds, but...
You two. Dear God, I thought you would gather them. What?
It's started. It's all right. I understand.
It's okay,
Okay,
Giles
sure.
got this. fuck you. Fuck you for that ending. I was so sure that Giles was just gonna turn around and just dig him out like a badass. We don't get to see it. Fuck off. Hey, would you look at that? That was another Spike episode. Okay, everybody. That was another Spike episode. Like, it's almost funny to me how many episodes just kind of boil down to this is a Spike episode. Because, like, Spike gets so much importance, and yet simultaneously, Spike is such a divisive character. That is something that has become clear to me over time watching the show and kind of interacting with the audience a little bit. Is that it's become so clear to me that Spike is this like love him or hate him character, depending on a lot of factors that are ultimately, I think, subjective. And to me, something I'm thinking about is that, like, I don't know, if you didn't like a character, you would try to, like, hide him or take relevance away from him or something. Instead, Spike continues to be front and center in very interesting ways. Because I keep watching Spike and... Okay, I'm gonna skip several steps ahead here, but I think that the ultimate conclusion I'm reaching here is that... Okay, this is a reference. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna move on past it real quick. So, in season 3, I remember when I was watching season 3, I referred to Faith as Vriska. And I was wrong, because I don't think Faith is Vriska. I think Spike is the Vriska. Like, that is something that I started thinking about, like, after I finished season 6, and now that it's been like a little bit, I keep thinking about it, and I think that that's it. And the reason why I think that is because every scene that Spike is in, like every single one, I watch it and I can, in my head, make up an argument for why I hate this guy or why I understand this guy and why I would defend him. There was that scene in this episode with Buffy and Spike in which Buffy is confronting Spike over the fact that he may be murdering again. He's feeding again. And Spike has this thing of, how dare you, like, accuse me of that, because you know I can't. And Buffy says, right, you have the chip. And then Spike is like, no, it's not the chip, it's that I feel bad. Like, I have a soul now. Like, you're accusing me of murder in a way in which you would accuse a normal person of murder. And that's crazy to him, because he not only has a soul and a conscience that would, you know, get in the way of committing murder, but he's also someone that feels the guilt and regret and pain. And she has seen that, of the fact that he really truly does not like the fact that he's a murderous person, that he has murdered in the past. He feels that guilt. So when she says the chip, he's like, it's not the chip, it's that it hurts me. Me, the person, it's not the chip, it's that me, I hurt out the idea that I could hurt somebody. But then, like, then it gets weird, because then he essentially says, like, yeah, I go around and I meet up with girls and I have moments, I go and have fun or whatever, but ultimately, like, I don't care about any of them, because the only person that really owns my heart is you. And he says that to Buffy. And the thing about that is that, like, I'll try to navigate this in a way that makes sense. Okay, so he says that, and it sounds like the most, like, manipulative shit, because it's like, in a very unhealthy, toxic way, how he is, like, unable to move on from this woman, and he's telling that to her face of, like, I'm never gonna be able to move on from you, in a way in which he's also kind of, like, hinting at the fact, or like, I'm not saying that this is what he's doing, but in the real world, a real person would say that in this context, that would be kind of trying to make you feel bad so that you would give them a shot. Because he also says, like, I did this for you, you know? I gave myself this soul for you. In a tone that I don't think he meant accusatory, or maybe he did, but it feels accusatory of, like, I did this for you and you're not with me. He's also not asking her to be with him, but he kind of hopes that she would be with him. And he's laying his heart out in a, hey, I could never love anyone but you kind of way, which feels manipulative. And that's why that sucks. However, like I said, Vriska, I can also see how everything that he is saying is true. I can also see how everything that he's saying is not a lie. He genuinely feels that way. He's not bullshitting. It's like actually true. And you can also see the way in which he's hurting because he has a soul now, because he cares. And you can see how he literally has made himself Catholic. Like, he has made himself suffer for her, and now this isn't happening anymore. And like, maybe he had a hope that it could happen, but he's also not pushing for it. But like, he tried, but also he's trying, but also not. In that way, that actually is very realistic. Of like, I wish we could be together, but also I am afraid of being with you. So it's this thing of like, I want to jump into the pool, but I'm just kind of standing right here outside looking at it and just kind of making sad puppy eyes to it, but never jumping in. And I'm just kind of hoping that the pool comes to me, but it doesn't. It's a pool. Like, this analogy kind of falls apart, but like, you understand kind of what I'm saying is that like, he wants to be with Buffy and he feels everything that he says he feels. Like, in the way in which I question the fact that Riley was in love with Buffy because he came back like half a year later and he was married and he was happy and everything. And I'm like, my God, you moved on way too quickly. In that way in which I question Riley for in the way he speaks about like having loved Buffy, I'm like, I don't know if you did. In that way, I don't question Spike. You know, I'm doing the opposite. If there's something I know for sure in my heart, is that Spike is in love with Buffy. Is it healthy? No. But he feels what he feels. Like, I believe that. I truly believe that. So everything that he says, I believe. Because I'm looking at him, and I can see how it's true. So in that scene, I was kind of being pulled in two different directions because I'm like, you sound like such an asshole right now. And I can see the ulterior motive, but it's not really an ulterior motive because you're just saying it, but you're also not saying it. You're not jumping in. You don't want to jump in, but you want it nonetheless. And that part is that is left unsaid. I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, are you trying to be pathetic so that she makes a move, or are you just pathetic? And I think it's the latter. And when that happens, in my head, I'm like, do I want to be upset at you? Or do I just feel bad for you? Do I just pity you? And I think I'm falling into the later category. I think it's the latter. I think I just pity Spike. And I think that is intentional. I'm pretty sure that is kind of part of what the character is at this point. Is that you're supposed to pity him. So I think they're succeeding at that. But in my head, I can so clearly make up the argument of like why I would just not give a fuck about Spike anymore. Like, I can see it. And that's fascinating to me. And the reason why it's like so fascinating is because like I can envision a world in which a different person watching this, they could just be so done with Spike. Like, they could be like, fuck this guy. Like, I don't want to deal with him anymore. And I don't blame them for it. I watched Seeing Red. I don't blame anybody for just being like, fuck this guy. I don't want to look at him anymore. Like, that's completely fair to me. Like, I understand that. That's valid. And that makes it fascinating to make now episodes in which, like, Spike is the point of the episode. It's the thing that we care about the most. And I'm sitting here watching it like, it's shocking how important Spike is, because I can see how a different audience member could just be like, I don't want to watch this, and just change the channel just because they're just fucking tired of Spike at this point. And simultaneously, I can see how a person that is really into this shit could watch it and they would be like, holy shit, it's a Spike episode. Hell yeah, this is my favorite type of episode. Which, like, that kind of person is very happy because it's like every 2 episodes at this point. That's something it's fascinating to me about Spike at this point. We're getting so much Spike. So much Spike all the time. When Spike is not on screen, the audience should be asking, where is Spike? Like, that's kind of how it feels like to me. But I also don't know what we're doing with Spike. I mean, okay, I have some ideas. I have some theories. But I don't know what is the intention with Spike. is kind of where I'm getting to. Because Spike right now is just kind of pathetic, and I don't know what the move is there. I had some ideas as to what we're doing with Spike, on a like lore sense, I suppose. And what I mean by that is that I said it in the episode, but like if we're dealing with the big evil, which I don't know, Satan. Let's say it's Satan, just because we're getting really Christian in this shit. If it is Satan, like in my head, I'm just imagining like, yeah, I guess like if Satan is Satan, I wouldn't be surprised if like he had control of like all demons, you know, if all demons should like do his bidding like puppets. Like that's something that to me makes sense. And if that's the case, then I can see how like he's just making Spike do shit because Spike is a demon. Like he has a soul, but he's also a demon. So I can see very clearly how like Spike kind of becomes the most important character in the show now, in the sense that like he is the vessel in which Satan will manifest upon this earth, but also he's a guy with a soul who doesn't want to do any of this. And really the main thing he has going on for him is that he just has a huge crush on the main character in like a forbidden love kind of way, and but also a lot of guilt and regret. So like that's kind of cool from a character perspective. And now we're gonna grab him, take his like free will away, and we're just gonna force him to do shit that he doesn't want to do. And that's tragic. That is fucked up. Like that has to be horrible if you're Spike. And I think that is actually what's happening. And we saw it in this episode, but even before I watched this episode, in my head, I think I maybe even said it. Like, that is an idea that floated in my head of like, yeah, Satan should have control of all demons, maybe. Or maybe I said it to an angel. But like, that's something I in my head made sense. So Spike in this episode, like, it's something that, circling back again to the position that Spike occupies in the show, is that when last episode ended, I was like, I guess Spike is eating people again. And I even made up a case as to why he would do that. And that is that, I don't know, maybe he just likes suffering now because now he's Catholic. So now he feels bad because the chip hurts him, but he also feels bad for doing it. But he also enjoys like self-flagellating. Like he loves hurting. So now he's like, I'm gonna eat people because it's part of my nature, and I'm gonna feel really bad about it because I have a soul now, but that's not gonna stop me. I'm just gonna keep indulging in something that I know is bad, and I am just gonna feel bad about it, and I am gonna become addicted to the feeling of feeling bad about it. Just wallowing in that feeling of self-pity. It sounds crazy, but I've known people like that, you know? Like, I understand that. I've been close to that at points in my life. The like, I am not going to change the way I do things. I'm going to actually entertain it, but I'm just going to feel really bad about it. And that is also kind of a coping mechanism. Like, I remember I met a person who like he was a very angry guy. Like, he would just have outbursts all the time and would just say and insult things all the time. And it's something that, like, ultimately, it just, like, pissed me off to a point that, like, I didn't want to hang out with him anymore. So I don't. He wasn't a bad person necessarily, but he had these habits that were ultimately harmful to him and also to the people around him. But it was one of those things where, like, I remember I called him out on that a lot of the times. And he was like, yes, I'm a bad person. Of course I'm gonna scream and get angry. And I'm like, because my reasoning, I was like, don't do that because that's bad. And he's like, yes, I know it's bad. Because I'm bad, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, okay. I think that was the first time which like it clicked in my head, talking to this person of like, oh, you're just like, you fully resign yourself to a role. But like, the reason why you're doing that is because you don't want to do the effort of changing, of like not doing the thing that your impulses make you do, because it's easier to just keep doing it. And instead of doing the hard work, you're just gonna say like, well, I'm bad, so fuck it, you know? Like, I'm broken, I'm a bad person, whatever, I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna double down, actually. And that was a moment that, like, I saw that very clearly. And that is something that in my head I made up as, like, maybe a possibility for what Spike could be doing. He's just like, yeah, I'm a demon, I eat people, I kill people. I guess I should keep doing that because that's all I am. I'm a bad person and I eat people. And he just feels bad about it, but he likes feeling bad about it. And he just, instead of doing the hard work of changing, he just gives in to that feeling. That is a reason that I made up in my head. And then this episode comes up and it's just like, actually, he's not even in control. It's something else taking like his mind and his body away from him. That's different. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Spike is in a situation, he's in a position as a character in which it would be honestly relatively easy to have him go in all sorts of directions. Like, I already made up a version of Spike that was eating people willingly, and those were the reasons why. And it kind of makes sense. Like, I'm patting myself on the back there. I think it kind of makes sense. But that's not what we got. We got something different. We got his body autonomy is being taken away, and he's being puppeted by maybe Satan. And that's fucked up in a different way, but that is different for the character Spike. But the fact that you have that like bifurcation on the road, like it could go one way or the other, or a different way, is the state that Spike is in. And that is what I find fascinating, is that Spike is a character in which like he could go any goddamn direction and I would believe it. Because Spike is a mess. Spike is such a mess. Spike is a fascinating fucking character. He's a fascinating character because like I don't know what we're doing with him. I don't know what the plan is. Like right now what I'm looking at the plan is like he's the corrupt vessel. And it's a sad story of somebody who doesn't want to be the vessel. For somebody who just wants to be better. That is what I'm seeing right now as a possibility for what we're doing forward. But it could also just not be that. It could be anything. It could be a story about like Spike is actually evil and fucked up, and he always was, and he keeps entertaining this like bad, like toxic feelings that he has, and that's why he's a bad person. And we keep tiptoeing around the line, and that's the way it's gonna fall at the end, because they really want to make it sure that we understand that Spike sucks. It could end in that way, and I would still believe it. Like, I don't know what we're doing with him, and that's so interesting. And everything that I just said, I want you to understand that there's also a lot of people that just fucking hate this guy and don't want to look at him anymore. And that's even more interesting, because then it's like, I wonder if people have mixed reaction to this season. I don't know. Like I actually don't know how people feel about season 7. I've heard a lot about a lot of different seasons, but season 7, I don't really have a lot of knowledge about. So I wonder, I guess answer in the comments. I'm not going to read them yet. I'm going to read them later, like at some point when I finish the season maybe, but let me know how you feel about season 7 and how you feel about Spike, because I'm genuinely curious that Spike is this important to everything, and he's a character that is so divisive. Like, I want to say controversial, but I don't even know that because I don't really interact with fandom. But he could be, like, I can see it, and in my head I'm seeing the multiple directions in which he could go, and I can make a case for one or the other all the time, always. And that is a sign of a very complicated character that people are going to have a lot of feelings about. Because people are going to make up interpretations of Spike in their head that are going to be different. Like, again, in that scene that I was watching earlier, I'm like, I don't know what version of Spike I'm watching. Like, I'm making up multiple Spike ghosts in my head, and I don't know which one is the real one. And I'm sorry that I'm talking so much about Spike, but, like, the entire episode was just kind of Spike. Like, that's all it was. There was a little bit about different things in there, sprinkled in there, but it's mostly just Spike stuff. And I don't know what to do with it, because I don't know where Spike is going. I can make a lot of guesses and assumptions and theories, but like that doesn't ultimately, like when I watched Seeing Red, like I remember people were asking me when I finished season 6, like, what are your feelings about Spike? How do you feel about Spike? What are your thoughts on Spike? Where's Spike going? And I was like, my answer was like literally, I don't know. Ask me after I finished season 7. Spike at the end of season 6, like getting a soul back after trying to rape Buffy, I'm like, that's some crazy shit. I don't know what to do with that, and I don't know where it's going. And now that we start season 7, I can see kind of where we're going, but I'm still confused. Like, I'm still like, this could be anything. This could be any story. And that is fascinating. I'm very intrigued as to what we're doing with Spike. Like, I said a very cursed thing, I think, previous episode, and I stand by it. Spike is the Nagito Komaeda of fucking Buffy. Because, like, love him or hate him, the show would be a lot more boring if he wasn't here. Spike, if anything, keeps the show interesting. If anything at all, that is something that's just factually true. Okay, I think we can move on from Spike for a little bit here. Some of the stuff that happened in the episode. I like that the episode happened immediately after a previous episode. Willow and Dawn reconvene and they told each other about kind of what happened, but also not explaining exactly what happened. So Willow didn't say who she saw, which was Cassie, because she didn't want to say that because I guess it would hurt Dawn to imagine Cassie appearing again. But then Dawn didn't tell Willow about what Joyce, quote unquote, said, which is when the time comes, Buffy won't choose you, which could mean anything. But also Willow immediately brings up the point that I brought up, which is that could have been another like manipulation. That could have been the thing, like tricking Dawn by saying what it said in the same way that it tried to trick Willow. And that's true. Like you don't know what you saw and I don't know what she saw. And in this episode, I had the scene in which Spike and Buffy went into that building at the end with the dead bodies being buried. When they went into that building after the phone call, I didn't believe that was real because the phone call was weird. Spike dialed up the phone, he made a call, and then it cut to Buffy on a phone replying. And in the way in which it was cut, we didn't see like a back and forth that felt natural. It felt spliced in because that's editing. But the way in which it did, it felt like they were having two separate conversations because you only get to hear one end every time. So because of that, like I didn't get to hear Spike saying shit on Buffy's phone and I didn't hear Buffy say anything on Spike's phone. So that made me feel like that call wasn't actually happening and that was like a trick. And then when immediately cut to the building in which they were in, and I'm watching three people, one of which is fake. I'm like, maybe two of them are fake. Maybe all three of them are fake. Like, I don't know who I'm watching. Like, I don't know what is going on at any given time. Because, like, in that scene, we had three people. One of them was fake because he was Satan. The other person was an avatar of Satan or soon to be an avatar of Satan. So that person wasn't fully there because first Spike didn't remember and then he became a different person that was being mind controlled. And the third person was Buffy, and I'm sitting here like, are you Buffy or are you not? You could be anything. I don't know, man. And that's kind of the point I've gotten to. Because, like, when presented with an option that, like, you can't trust anything, which this show has prepared me to do, by the way. Like, this show has primed me to not trust it. Because they love making their little gags. But even beyond that, previous episode, we have introduced a figure that could take on the shape of anything and say anything. And now we know for sure that all it wants is to create mischief amongst the group. And now we know that it has plans too. So it's trying to do stuff that is not good. And it is going through manipulation and taking on identities and attacking them psychologically in order to accomplish their goals. And that means that I can't trust anyone now. I can't trust anything. Anything or anyone could just be Satan. So, like, I don't know. So now I was watching this episode and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Anything could happen in any given scene, which I have to say is a very good bad guy move. In terms of like main antagonists that we've had in the show, I think this one is pretty good. I liked it quite a bit. Like, I really like this main antagonist. Because I also have to imagine that it's the same figure we saw in the first episode that Spike was talking to, and he was taking on the appearances of every main bad guy that we have seen. Warren, Glory, Adam, the Mayor, Drusilla, and then the Master. And then Buffy herself talking about power. That was very cool. Because that's the other thing, too, that is something that Spike said that I kind of like. It's that when Buffy was asking him, like when Spike was like, do it quick, you know, like kill me, and Buffy decided not to, like they were having this conversation in which Spike said a bunch of shit and he was like, he was talking to me, and Buffy was like, who? And he was like, me. It was me. And it's this thing of, clearly we know that that's a different like entity, Satan, but it could also just be a representation of your evil, your darkness, or whatever, which like it could be a more representational antagonist instead of just like, hey, that's a big demon guy like an angel. It's just this idea of like, no, this is the dark half of your soul, you know. It's there, it's always there, it's always somewhere deep in there, and it's just being brought up to the surface. That is what is kind of eliciting in you some stuff that is deep inside you already, not something separate. It's just something that is being brought up. So that could also be it. That could be a fun, interesting thing to explore. Because, like, that actually kind of makes sense. Because something I was thinking about Angel, about, like, why is Cordelia fucking Connor? Why is Cordelia having sex with, like, a 1-year-old child? Given he's 18 now, but he was born last year, and that's weird. She changes diapers. And now she's fucking him. And that was just some weird shit. After being in a weird relationship with that kid's dad, that episode. That was some weird shit. But something that I brought up in that Angel episode is that I was thinking, like, maybe the reason why all of this is happening is because we're getting really, like, Christian up in this shit. And we're kind of bringing allusion to, hey, sinning. You know, doing things that are bad in a very human way. And that if there's anything that Satan brings into the table here when he wants to rise up, is this idea of, like, hey, y'all are just gonna, like, indirectly kind of worship me and what I'm about, which is sinning. So that's something that I was thinking about with Angel, and it's something that I'm thinking about here in Buffy, in that maybe that is what the evil is about here. It's not a separate entity that is, I mean, it is, but it's also not just a separate entity, but it's actually something that is inside each and every single soul, and is just using that influence to come to the surface in everybody. So all it really needs to do is to just kind of whisper in your ear, and then it's just here. Because you can't really get rid of it. It's always there, you know? That could be kind of cool. That would be a cool thing to explore. I would kind of like that. That would be kind of fun. Something I also mentioned in this, sorry to bring it back to Spike, but something I mentioned in this episode, and I'm thinking about now, is this idea that, like, we give Spike so much leeway, so many opportunities, because, and like, the real reason why is because Spike is too important of a character, and it would be narratively unsatisfactory to just get rid of him. The other reason is because people really like Spike, so he has to stick around. He has stuck around for 5 seasons longer than he should have. I'm saying because, like, I've heard that the original plan was just like, yeah, he's probably not going to make it past season 2. You know, he's just a bad guy. But then people really liked him, so he stuck around because James Master is just that good, which is fair. But what I'm thinking is how weird almost it is that Spike, like, we know he's eating people now. And that is after he tried to rape Buffy. Not even that long ago. And in between that, he impaled a guy, given it was a monster. But then he stopped being a monster for half a second, and then he became a guy and impaled him. But he felt bad about it, though. But, like, still, like, Spike consistently does so many things that are fucked up in such ways that are worse than most vampires we fight and kill without a second thought. Spike has done so much worse. And yet, in this episode, we're like, Spike is killing people. And, like, we know that for sure. And then the response is like, I gotta find out. And I'm just sitting here like, you're giving Spike way too much benefit of the doubt. For a guy who has tried to rape you and is now killing people, you're like, I can't believe it. I really don't want him to be doing this. And I'm like, you kill so many vampires and so many demons in general without thinking about it. You just go into Terminator mode and you just get rid of all of them, and you don't give a fuck. Why do you give a fuck about Spike? And I'm not saying that because it doesn't make sense. I am saying that because that is a very interesting point to bring up. Because Spike now has a soul, so he's a person. And I like that Buffy is treating him like a person. That is very cool. That is a very interesting aspect of what she's doing, and it's very cool for Spike's character and Buffy's character. But, like, everything that I'm saying is not just here, but it's also in the past. Like, Buffy didn't kill Spike in season 4. Buffy didn't kill Spike in season 3 when he came back and had, like, a weird, like, he was hung up over Drusilla and whatever. Like, they don't kill Spike anytime he shows up. And I know that the reason is because Spike is too good of a character, so you just can't get rid of him. But it's fascinating to me, to the lengths that we go with Spike while we stay with him. You know, at the end of this episode, everybody's like, what are we gonna do with Spike? This guy's out there killing people. He has Satan in his head. Like, what are we gonna do with him? And Buffy's like, I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on him. And I'm just like, girl, like, and like, the way she lays it out, like, it makes sense. It makes logical sense. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, because she's like, we're dealing with some kind of evil shit, and it's in Spike's head. Like, he has interacted with him more than anybody, so I guess we're gonna have to have Spike help us out to try to understand that. That makes sense. It does. It's cool. There is also a world in which they go, fuck this dude. Like, he's too much of a risk. He's just gonna kill me in my sleep. So I should just kill him right now. Like, there is a world in which that is a possibility. It's not even a possibility. There is a world in which that is the solution. And they're not doing it. They're continuing to give Spike this leeway of like, we can take care of him. And I'm sitting here like, that is a fascinating thing to do for the guy who tried to rape you, like assaulted you, tried to kill you multiple times. However, we can say that that person and this person are not the same person, which is something I've said before. However, it's still wearing the same face and it has the same memories. So from the victim's perspective, that is to say, Buffy Summers, it's amazing that she can like deal with it. So that is commendable. But it is also this thing of, girl, I don't even know if this is a good idea. Like, maybe the best thing to do would be to just kill him. Like, maybe. I don't know. These are all moves that I'm fascinated by. Of like, everything that Spike is, everything that they're doing with Spike, everything that Buffy is doing, and how much Buffy is willing to go to before she just takes him, which she hasn't done yet. And again, I just want to clarify that, like, I'm not saying that because I'm saying that Buffy should just take him, that she should just kill him because Spike is an asshole. Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Satan is in this man's head and is out there killing people. You don't know what is the safer play. You don't know what you should be doing. And Buffy defaults to keeping him around. And that is a choice that she's making that I don't know how I feel about it. But I do think it's very interesting that she's willing to do that for this guy of all people. Considering everything that he's done to her, which, again, I know he's a different person, but it's the same for Buffy, the victim who had to live through it and continues to live through it every time she has a goddamn flashback to it. And it is ultimately her choice, and she chooses to do this. And that is something that is very indicative of Buffy as a person, I feel like. Anything else we're mentioning in this episode? I mean, this episode was really just Spike time. It was just Spike time, all around. I mean, I think that's it. I think that's everything I have to say. Because, like, I came into this episode with this, like, feeling of, like, maybe we're just gonna be in the apocalypse now. After what I watched in Angel, maybe that's just gonna be it. But, I don't know. Maybe we're just gonna keep hanging out in Sunnydale doing their own thing. Because, like, maybe we're not crossing the beams. Maybe we're not doing it anytime soon, but it felt like in my head like we were building towards like something so massive very early on in the season, I have to say. And it felt like everything was just lining up, so everything is kind of on par between Buffy and Angel. And that hasn't happened in this episode, but it could happen in the next one. Like, there wasn't a lot of that happen between previous episode, like conversations with dead people, and this one. And it could also, the episodes could be like out of, like, the timelines could not necessarily match 1-to-1, but I don't know. Like, I don't know the extent of which we're dealing with this evil here versus the evil in Angel, and if they're the same evil or not. Because if they are, I'm like a lot more threatened and intimidated by it. Because it is then confirmed to be elevated from like a random Sunnydale demon, you know, that we get like every couple months, to just straight up Satan. And this is the end of the world. And that feels a lot more intimidating for me personally. So yeah, we'll see if that is exactly it. It feels that way, but we haven't done much progress in this episode. In that angle, we did most progress in the Spike angle. So we'll see how that goes. I suppose the last thing to say is Giles showed up for like a little bit. Couple seconds really. So we got to see that in London, some guy got stabbed. And some woman also got stabbed before we even saw that scene. And I think maybe it's the Watchers. And then Giles showed up. And he showed up and he was like, he started calling out for their names. So maybe he was worried that something was going down. Maybe he knew about the assassins or whatever. They got assassinated, by the way. Like there was some like cultists or something in like black robes. And there's some fucking ninjas just kill them. And that was interesting. Then Giles goes to talk to this guy who's dying. And this guy just says, gather them. It started. And I don't know what they mean with gather them. I don't know what they mean with gather them. Maybe it's gather the Watchers. It started the apocalypse, maybe. Like, I keep going into this like extremely like end of the world scenario, but like in order to give me something for me to like care about in terms of like the big bad plan, it has to be something big, and it has to be something big not just in like a glory way. It has to feel like it has been built up somehow. And that thing that the thing said, the thing like looked like Cassie, which I love that name, by the way. The thing that looked like Cassie. I'm going to keep saying that. But the thing that looked like Cassie said, you know, that whole thing of the balance between good and evil and whatever, I'm over that. That is something that felt very intimidating because it came from a commanding place of something that had a power over that and said, you know what, I'm tired of that shit. I'm just gonna say no to that. So that's very, very fun. But yeah, Giles had that conversation with that guy, and then there was a guy with an axe that tried to kill Giles, and then the episode ended. They're not gonna kill Giles just like that. I don't think they're gonna do that. They could kill Giles, but not in that manner, I don't think. So I'm worried that maybe he got captured or something, or maybe he can fight them back or something. He'll just show up with like a cool scar or something like that, but I don't know. But Giles seems to be now involved. And, you know, Anthony Stewart Head, rest in peace, by the way. That was very recent. But he I don't think he's in the show now as like a main cast because he just doesn't, he just wanted to go back to the UK, right, to be with his family. That's what I heard. And if that's the case, then that's completely fair. And it would make sense for him to show up to do some scenes or some episodes, so long as it's not the majority of them. He probably was like, yeah, I'm down to show up. I just don't want to be here all the time. So it would make sense for them to like capture him or something. So that like, we know that something happened with Giles, but we don't get to see it. And then eventually he's going to come back. Like, that makes sense to me. So, yeah. That's what I think. I don't think he's dead. It would be fucked up to kill him like that. Like, right there at the end, and we don't get to see it. It just kind of happens off screen. Like, that's fucked up. I don't want to... That sounds bad. I wouldn't do that. So I don't think he's dead, but he could be captured or injured or something. But he's been given a quest. He has to gather whoever it is. What if he meant gather the Slayers? I mean, we have 2 of them. It's not a lot, but we have 2. And I would do anything to have my girl Faith back. Like, I would do so many things to have my girl Faith back. I love Faith. I want to see Faith again. That would make me happy. Like, if there was ever a season to bring her back, it would be season 7, you know? Like, the end of the world is coming. Fuck it. Let's bust Faith out of jail. I think that's going to be it for this episode reaction. I don't know if there's anything else to say, but yeah, that was it for this episode. Very spike heavy episode. I feel like it's not going to be the last one. Okay, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Buffy. See you next time. Take care. But if you would like to see the next couple episodes already, as well as full-length reactions and Angel Watch Alongs, you can do so over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, social media, also cool stuff to do, support the channel. See you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.